The strategy is social proofing.
That's...
Athletes and fans will be more likely to...
Yo, they gained the social proof through athletes? Oh, wow. The sport jump might be cooked, bro. LeBron would literally make $1 billion his first month on OF if he went. Welcome back to Stanley Live, man. Today it's gonna be me, it's gonna be chat, and we are react to a video from the one, the only, the homie, athletic interest, why athletes get out of their clothes. This video I stole from my dog, Love Halal. He put me on, so let's get into it. No cap.
This is Liz Cambage, full-time WNBA All-Star, one of the greatest players of her generation. Career earnings, $900,000.
Dang, you could be my sugar mom or something if you want. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you got the spare for it, like, I'll take you, you know what I'm saying?
Earnings on OnlyFans, $1.5 million. In her...
You need a tall man in your life. I know you're a basketball player. Come mess with a tall one. And I can hoop with you. We could chill. We could really do something. We could really love and basketball it for real. Just handle my small bills on the side and I got you on the, you know what I'm saying?
Her first week. That's right. She made more on OnlyFans in 7 days than in her entire basketball
7 days? Oh, that's tough.
Career. She's not the only one. From track and field to bobsled, more and more pro athletes are joining OnlyFans to make a living. Even Douglas Costa and Nick Kyrgios. Now you might think the obvious. These athletes are selling their bodies for money, and the guys at Athletic Interest made a video about it to have fun with the research. But it's more complicated than that.
All right, chat. My new OF just dropped. It's more complicated than that, though. Either way, y'all go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, sub to the new OF, bro. That don't drop. Is there another 30-minute react? Absolutely. Absolutely. There's absolutely going to be another 30-minute react. Don't lose your money.
We are not just talking about lower-ranked athletes, but Olympic champions, Wimbledon finalists, and Champions League footballers. Why would any of those athletes join a platform that is popular for pornography? How much money are they making? And what does this say about the current sports and creator economy? As it turns out, there is a much bigger picture. Welcome to Athletic Interest. And
oh, boy! Oh my gosh! Yo! Oh my gosh! I thought I lost my channel just now. They got clothes on. They got clothes on. They OD have clothes on. Boy! I thought it was back to Panera Bread for me. Oh my gosh! I was about to be making sandwich and salads. Oh my gosh. I do not look good with an apron on, bro. I thought it was over.
the OnlyFans business of athletes.
Jay, stop clipping me.
OnlyFans has managed to do something that most companies fail. They took something people were used to getting for free and convinced them to pay for it. The numbers speak for themselves. Over 350 million users, nearly 8 billion in revenue in 2024. Whoa. And a large chunk of that went straight to creators. Whoa. For comparison, that's $1 billion more than the combined salaries of every NBA player. Sure, there are way more creators on OnlyFans than players in the NBA, but it's also a lot easier to start an OnlyFans than to land an NBA contract. This is no career advice, by the way.
But people be thinking they could just go on OF and start popping it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just go on the OF and start popping it. You're gonna be like the city SoundCloud rapper. Like, you're gonna have mad poom out there, get 20 people on your sub. You're earning $100 a month that you could have gone and went to, you know what I'm saying, Best Buy for, McDonald's for. Most people don't got it to be popping it like that. Like, unless you're going D1 in your city as fine shit, like, I'm talking like overly, like, you probably mess with some rappers and trappers in your days and stuff like that. Like, you was bringing in that type of comp. Most of y'all gonna flop, gang. I ain't gonna lie, bro. The way y'all don't like the gym either, bro, it's not a good pick.
The top earners make a lot of money. Like Sophie Rain, who shared a screenshot of her yearly earnings. Minus the fee, she makes roughly $3 million per month. But that's still ridiculous.
I'm doing it wrong. I'm doing it. Matter of fact, bro. That shit going for $5.99, bro. Sub. That was so good. Yeah, I'm so sorry. No way this is my first stream. I'm so sorry you saw that. That was so ugly.
As to what this guy makes. Sorry for all the numbers, but we're getting somewhere, promise. OnlyFans has just 42 employees. That works out to over $31 million in revenue per employee. That's more than Google, Apple, Meta, you name it. And since the company is completely bootstrapped with no outside investors, he took home nearly $500 million in dividends last year. So naturally, other social media platforms started to think, let's do subscriptions too. Elon Musk even changed the policy to allow porn on his platform. But subscriptions are only part of the OnlyFans business model. Despite looking like other social media platforms, OnlyFans runs on a completely different business model. First, you won't find them on any app store. Apple's terms don't allow platforms with sexually explicit content,
I didn't know that.
OnlyFans operates entirely outside the app ecosystem. Most social media companies make their money from advertisers.
Word.
OnlyFans makes all of their money directly from their creators. And those creators get paid directly by their fans. OnlyFans takes a 20% cut, and the rest goes to the creator. That's more
Dang, a 20% cut is like a good cut too, bro. That's a good chunk.
Generous and more transparent than most other platforms. YouTube, for example, shares around 45%, and only with selected channels. Don't worry, we're not switching anytime soon. Now, OnlyFans didn't invent revenue sharing, and they have way fewer users than YouTube or Facebook. But there's one key difference. Because they are not on the App Store, they don't have to give Apple or Google a 15 to 30% cut of every transaction. And that's the only reason they can sustain the 80-20 split. If Apple was already taking 30%, there's no way OnlyFans could afford to pay creators 80%. So, almost by accident, they landed a competitive advantage. Better payouts and more control over the platform.
Wow,
and it gets better.
That's crazy.
Creators use other platforms to go viral.
I wonder how we could do this for an app that's, not for showing my cheeks off. You get what I'm saying? Like, I wonder if this is possible to do with something that's just like good for the community, because that is a great model if you don't have to give 30% just to Apple to be on the App Store. That's insane. Not really, but that's borderline operating close to monopoly standards. I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, you have the choice of going online, but damn, that is crazy. Pinterest. Bro, you almost pissed me off just now, bro. Don't ever type the word Pinterest in my chat again. Don't ever type the word Pinterest in my chat. Don't ever type the word Pinterest on my junk again. Nobody uses it. Nobody uses it. Unless you're designing a room in an apartment that you just moved into, or you're trying to draw something, nobody uses it. Nobody uses it, bro.
And then link to their OnlyFans profiles. So OnlyFans doesn't need to spend big on advertising. They've basically outsourced user acquisition to their creators.
Wait, hold on.
Big on advertising. They've basically outsourced user acquisition. OnlyFans doesn't need to spend big on advertising. They've basically...
She gotta clean that. Yeah, she gotta clean that. See, that's what I was looking at. I don't know if y'all can see the hues right here, but the hues is kind of off. That's what I was looking. Y'all think I was looking at the yams? I'm not. Like, I'm just saying, once you get to like kind of right here on the tongue a little bit, like there's like this patch right here and a little bit right there too. You know what I'm saying? That's just, we can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, gotta clean that.
Outsourced user acquisition to their creators. Put all that together and you get one of the most unique business models in the creator economy. But here's the question. Athletes make a ton of money anyway. Why join a platform popular for porn?
Because it's never enough, right? Like, athletes will do it and then they'll get a lot of money and then they're getting close to retirement and their lifestyle and the amount of money they have left don't match up and they can't sustain. And then it's like, dang, I'm already doing things for my body. Also, my body's in peak condition. What do I do that helps me leverage the thing that I already got? That's what smart business people do. They'll get into their next transaction, their next investment, and they'll be like, dang, what can I possibly do to leverage what I already have? Oh, shoot, a platform that likes bodies and my body's in phenomenal shape because I've been training like a freaking CIA double agent my whole entire life. That's what I would think. I could be wrong though.
When you already get crazy salaries, prize money, and sponsorships. Or do they?
Don't put my goat on here.
Unless you're a global superstar like LeBron, Messi, or Simone Biles, the truth is most professional athletes earn surprisingly little. Let's take Olympic athletes as an example.
Imagine being an Olympic athlete and when they say most Olympic athletes earn surprisingly little and then they throw up a picture of your face. And And they're like, yeah, let's take an example of Stanley, for example. He's broke as fuck. Broke as hell. He has no options after he's done with his sport. He has to start OnlyFans. Like, that'd be crazy.
Average track and field athlete makes around $15,000 per year from their sport. That's less than a McDonald's worker in
I didn't know
France who
track
earns
athletes
about
got paid so little. That's crazy.
$22,000 on minimum wage. And it gets worse. The International Olympic Committee, which earns over $7 billion per Olympic cycle, pays absolutely nothing to the athletes directly, even if they win gold. That's because the Olympic system was built on the idea that athletes should remain amateurs, competing for honor, not money. A rule originally designed to keep working-class athletes out of elite sport, and one that still affects how money flows in the industry today. We've actually made a full video about this. We'll link it in the description if you want to dive deeper. So how do Olympians survive? They rely on a fragile mix of three things. Salaries, if they are lucky. Prize money, which varies wildly. And sponsorships, which mostly go to the big names in football and basketball. Take the 2012 London Olympics. Usain Bolt made over $20 million that year with a $9 million Puma deal. But Megan Calmer,
who the heck is Puma? Don't piss me off, bro.
An Olympic bronze medalist in rowing, she made $10,000 for her medal before taxes and had to grow her own vegetables to make ends meet. And it's not just Olympians. A study found that 80% of professional athletes in the US don't consider themselves financially stable. Travel, gear, training, nutrition, it all adds up. Sponsorship money is drying up, especially if you're not constantly on TV. Which brings us back to OnlyFans. Because if you're a world-class athlete with a loyal fan base, but you're earning less than a delivery driver, why wouldn't you turn to a platform that lets you monetize your following directly? Speaking of building and monetizing a following, your privacy site, the creators, athletes, in our case, who produce the content. On the other, the platforms that distribute it. The question is always the same. Who gets how much of the money? Social media platforms make billions by monetizing the attention athletes generate.
Right.
Think of Douglas Costa. Millions of fans, millions of clicks. But most of the value he creates goes to the platforms. Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok are great for exposure. They help creators land brand deals, affiliate links, and sponsorships.
Right.
But when it comes to paying creators directly, almost nothing. YouTube is an exception. It shares ad revenue, mostly respects creators, and rewards consistency. But even on YouTube, it's a grind to make a living. Talking from experience here. OnlyFans wants to flip the model, allowing creators to monetize their audience directly. It's part of a larger shift in the maturing creator economy.
OF would have been so cool if it wasn't about yams, gang. That's the thing, though. Like, I didn't even know until like 4 days ago. I was reacting to a video about Miss Bonnie Blue herself, and somebody told me that OF originally was supposed to be like Patreon. Isn't that crazy? I didn't know that. I thought it was supposed to be a, you know what I'm saying, platform. But no, apparently it's supposed to be like Patreon, bro. It's supposed to be somewhere where you could just get behind the scene access to your favorite creators. And then you ended up getting behind the scene access from your favorite creators. You get what I'm saying? So
creators getting a bigger slice of the value they generate. And for the most part, that's a good thing. More control, more transparency, more revenue for creators. But there is a catch. OnlyFans still comes with baggage.
That's funny, Jay.
Yes, they market the idea of behind-the-scenes access, training footage, recovery routines, Q&As. But let's be real. Most content on the platform isn't meal plans and workout tips. Unless you're willing to show skin, the odds of making serious money are slim. And for athletes, that comes with a risk. Aligning with a platform still associated with adult content could harm sponsorship opportunities. It could turn off brands and eventually backfire. Some critics also argue that it normalizes explicit content, or worse, pushes financially struggling athletes toward choices they wouldn't otherwise make. It becomes
It's like, yeah, that's bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't really want to place like sexual nature onto people and stuff like that, and then pay them more. They have all the abilities to pay them more, but you're using and fixated on rules that were made like not in our modern society to keep amateur athletes amateurs, thus forcing them to feel like they have to do this. Like, they have all the power to fix the things that they're worried about, and if they keep on waiting on that decision, OF is going to become more and more attractive and lucrative, and they're going to lose their gambling power. Because even if they are like, all right, we're going to start paying every athlete $150,000, but people keep going to OF with their followings and keep making $150,000 in a month, they're going to lose their gambling power. So before it becomes too attractive for the athletes, they should change their ways. I'm telling you. Now, I don't necessarily want the athletes to go do that, though I understand why they see that as a pathway. I would rather them do other things, but shoot, if I'm making pennies, not me, if they're making pennies on the dollar and they need to do their sport and they're trying to do the thing that they're passionate about, you could argue that they have more of a resolve for themselves if they say, dang, I literally love this sport so much that I would sell my body just so I could keep doing it. You could argue that they have more resolve than the average person. So that's a problem that y'all could dead fix, but y'all taking too long.
It's an ethical question. Is OnlyFans empowering athletes to monetize their attention, or nudging the vulnerable to sell their bodies? There's something to win and something to lose for athletes joining OnlyFans. But the biggest winner in all of this, OnlyFans itself, because there is a catch to why so many pro athletes are joining the platform. Many of them get paid by OnlyFans to do so. They are not only doing it to get the 80% cut, but they get good old sponsorship money from the company. Why? Because OnlyFans wants to go mainstream, and their way in is sports. They even have a whole sports blog on their website, where they report about OnlyFans-sponsored athletes and teams. The strategy is social proofing. Athletes and fans will be more likely to...
Yo, they gain the social proof through athletes? Oh, wow. The sport jump might be cooked, bro. LeBron would literally make $1 billion his first month on OF if he went. Not because women are going to sub. Women will sub too. But the amount of men that will go to that platform is generational, bro. I'm not even going to lie. And if the athlete world lose LeBron, bro, it's... Nigga, I might sub. I'm joking.
Sign up in the future as they see others doing the same. Adult content is still their core business. But if they want to grow, they need to...
I'm paying for LeBron's OF. Look, look what I started. I started that. That's my fault.
To diversify. And sports is one of the most trusted, emotionally driven content genres out there. It also fits the broader trend. Athletes building direct relationship with fans without relying on media companies or brands. Cristiano started a YouTube channel. Kylie Kuzma launched a newsletter. Austin Eckler built his own app called Experience. Everyone's trying to own the connection.
Hey man, instead of throwing balls around, throw your balls around on OF apparently. If you guys like the video, I'm not ending it like that. It's a tough situation for them, I'm not gonna lie, so I do get it. It's actually way more intricate than I thought it'd be. It's more than just, I want money. I can see how things are pushing them over there, no cap. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure that you like, comment twice, it helps me in the algo. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.